Hello there, Servum17 once again. This is probably my last playthrough of the Devil May Cry demo that you're going to be seeing. And this is me utilising something known as the Demon Dodge, although doing it quite badly at this moment in time, which is what you've just witnessed. I'm going to put a video up explaining it, showing it, and probably criticising it because it's a very interesting part of the scoring which is very broken. And basically what it enables you to do is get your stylish meter really high very quickly, and then all you need to do from that moment onwards is not get hit, and you'll get the style requirement every time, and it's not too difficult to do. And this video is me getting the SSS on each of the requirements. As you'll notice, the previous run I put up was an SSS rank, but it did not have the max rank on the style. So this one does, and that's the difference. And I've pretty much done as much as I can in the demo, so it's probably time to let it breathe a little bit. And you know, you'll see the content when it comes in January, which is very close at this moment in time, because time flies so quickly, guys. It really does, and it's pretty much upon us. So instead, this is just going to be me doing a run through of the demo again. You've already seen me doing this. It's all pretty standard at this point. And as well, everybody's expressed their opinion on the game at this moment, so you either know if you like it, you know you don't like it. But it is close, and that is the cool thing. There is a lot of good titles coming. There's a lot of good action titles too, because between this, you know, the revised version of Ninja Gaiden 3 that actually looks like a game worth playing rather than a game that's, you know, not even worth buying, and then the new Metal Gear game by Pure Platinum. It's a good time to be an action game fan, and you can't often say that, but it really is at this moment, and especially for me, because they're my favourite type of games. I have a few games that I like more than any others, but these are definitely my favourite, and they're also the one that's, you know, least traversed, because a lot of games at this moment in time have been done to death. We've seen so many different iterations of them, we've seen so many different, you know, game elements be featured inside of them. And I do think that this is a bit of an untapped resource as far as that kind of stuff goes, because I would compare Dark Souls to this kind of game, because it's taking what this game does and it's extending it into different genres and a different type of game, and I do think that's the future, because the elemental, I don't even know why I said that, the RPG elements, I think that's what I was trying to say, but I just got ahead of myself, in Dark Souls, is something that I would love to see added to these type of games. And the way the world works as well, and silly things like co-op, they're trying to foist multiplayer into every single thing that comes out. And I do think a game like this would be really good with multiplayer. I don't know how it'd work, because, you know, they pride themselves on performance and a lot of chaos on screen, and when there's two people, the frame rate would probably go to dog shit. But out of all the games I would love to play with friends, is a game like this, where you're both beating stuff up and adventuring and all that kind of good stuff. Like, it really is, and the closest that you can come to such a title is Ninja Gaiden 2 on the PlayStation, where they actually put the co-op trials in. And the problem with that is, I believe that they're quite laggy and things like that. But at the same time, you're getting to play a game you really like with a friend, and you don't really get a chance to do that with many of these games, and I think that's definitely something they should look into, because it's just such a cool concept. There's a reason why so many people try and do co-op on Dark Souls, and it ain't because it's easy to do and it's accessible, because it's extremely obnoxious to get your friend in your game, but it's because those games are so fun and so rewarding and would benefit so much from multiplayer that people are willing to do it. And it definitely speaks volumes about, you know, the enjoyment of that fun factor when you do have a friend, because playing co-op is some of the most fun you can have on a game, and on a genre that hasn't really done it is definitely a good idea. Oh, and once again, my notifications are not off. I do apologise for that, people. Sometimes I forget to turn them back on. But somebody left a comment in my previous video that when this enemy does that spin attack move that I generally just avoid, you can use the demon whip, the demon grab, and pull her out of it, which is really useful. It's going to be really useful later on when I play the full game, so I don't panic, because I don't like that enemy at all. They sneak up on you and they're assholes. but everybody's asking me how I feel about the new Dante, because I've apparently not made it clear. One thing you've got to bear in mind with me, folks, is I've been playing these games for a very long time. I am a very, very die-hard Devil May Cry fan. But there is a difference between, you know, being a complete sycophant of a series and shunning change. Like, I am not so up the arse of this game that I want it to stop pushing boundaries, that I want it to stop innovating for fear of isolating a crowd. I really don't. Because the thing with me is, if you release a good game that I enjoy, that's fine by me. If you release a bad game that I don't enjoy, or even a bad game that I do enjoy, it's fine by me. It's just how it is. But I don't understand this concept of tearing things down purely because they're different. And every Devil May Cry has been different. Every Devil May Cry has been pretty much developed by a different team, a different helm, a different creative director. There's another guy coming online. There we go. Full house. At least it's covering up the life bar, nothing else. But they've all been rapidly different from the one before them, and there's one that stands out massively because it was deemed to be really bad, and that was the second one, and it got a lot of hate, and it got a lot of hate from me, but I didn't hate it because it was different. I hated it because it was bad. I hated it because I didn't think it was playable, that I didn't find it fun. If I had have found it fun, I wouldn't have been so anti it. It's just how it works. And as much as I do believe that the second one is you know, the worst of the series and a very bad game, they tried something different. They made Dante different. They changed the world, they changed the story, they changed a lot of stuff. They added a character, they did some daring things. And the problem with it is the first game got such critical acclaim for what it was, that when everything changes, a la like a James Bond changing, or like a Doctor Who changing, everybody compares it to the one that came before, because that's how we work, it's how we judge things. We use our experiences to judge and assess things. And they compared that game to the other one, and they couldn't have been more different. And then the third one came out, it was a different Dante, different team, different combat, introduced a whole bunch of elements, and I thought it was really good, I thought it was great. And Dante was different again, and then the fourth one came out, and you know, I was really late to getting it because I kind of got screwed, and they didn't let you play as Dante for all the game, which was really strange to me. You played as this other guy who was kind of like Dante, but he wasn't, and you know, the game itself was really strange in how it was set up, yet it looked really beautiful and the combat was great, but a lot of different features let it down. And then this one comes out and it garners all this hate for all these different reasons that people have, some of them valid, some of them just preposterous, and it's almost cool to hate on this game now. And the biggest one is that they've turned Dante into a dick. Turned Dante into a dick, game is ruined. And to me, that is insane, because all I can ask is, did you play the other games? Dante's always been a dick. Dante is a dick. The difference is if you enjoyed his particular brand of dickishness. Because what essentially is he? He is someone with superhuman powers who's extremely cocky because he knows he can pretty much not be killed, and his mission is to be a demon hunter and to kick ass and, you know, care about people's feelings afterwards. So intrinsically, he's always been a dick from day one. The difference is, on the first game, we saw a little softer side to him when Trish was introduced and his mother and all that kind of stuff. On the second game, he barely spoke, so he was a dick, but he was brooding. In the third game, he was cocky, he was arrogant, he was pretty much a giant prick, but there was something about that I found endearing, because he has every right to be that, because he's a young man. And then on the fourth one, he was coming up against someone who was a giant dick as well. So it was two dicks, but the new guy was the bigger dick, so he was kind of seeing the error in his ways and still being cocky. It's like, the guy's always been a dick, guys. We can't say this new one is a dick, because Dante is a dick. He's always been a dick. And for me, there will never be a better Dante than the first one, because it was my first exposure to him, and I think that was the best one. But they've changed him every time. Why would I get offended by them changing him again? And all they've done now is turned him into Hayden Christensen, and, you know, they've made him God Save the Queen, punk it all up, and be really cocky and arrogant again. So all it is Devil May Cry 3 in, you know, early 90s England. That's the only difference. It's Devil May Cry 3 if Dante was in the Sex Pistols. And I don't understand how this is so egregious, because it's just another iteration of a character that's had several different faces, several different voices, but the one thing holding it together is he's generally always been kind of cool and always been a massive knob. So it doesn't make sense to me. I don't mind the new Dante at all. At first, I didn't really like it, but as more I saw it, the more I was exposed to it, and it's like, yeah, why not? Because I'm open to the new interpretation, and you can't really judge anything else on the game until it comes out, because you just don't have the reference to do that. And anybody who thinks they are is one of these hate-preaching retards that I've got a particular video completely filled with their bile. And Jesus, something wrong with those folks. But thank you for watching, guys. That is I'm not going to say a flawless run, but it's a perfect rank. The only way that could be better for Pride is if I didn't take any damage, but there's no damage bonus, so points-wise, it doesn't make any sense. But thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the Devil May Cry content. I hope you're keeping an open mind for the game, even if it's not swayed you yet. And I will hopefully see you on the guide that I'm going to be making. So you take care now.